We founded Slow Rodeo to answer a simple question. What happens when consumer brands are built entirely on chain? Slow Rodeo is an experiment in cult community and culture, leveraging emergent technology to build a network of on chain consumer brands around burgeoning subcultures. Before we explain what that all means, let's take a walk through the history of brand building. Over the past century, consumer choice was limited to the brands people were exposed to in retail stores, on the radio, and eventually on TV. The internet changed all of that. Suddenly, consumers were exposed to brands from every corner of the earth and could make purchases delivered directly to their doorsteps. But social media was the real catalyst. Enter the D2C boom, where brands could be spun up to target hyper-specific consumer segments. Before long, consumers could shop directly in platform, influencers dictated trends, and the smartest brands created armies of micro-influencers producing a never-ending supply of UGC. We went from changing the channel during commercials to actively following our favorite brands. And there was quite literally a brand for everyone. At first, this was great. Brands showed strong initial growth and raised large sums of money. We as consumers felt seen, understood, and catered to in a way we'd never felt before. But that model has proven to be unsustainable. Unrealistic growth expectations forced brands to expand into wider audiences. Consumers became increasingly difficult to target and expensive to acquire, and social media went from a secret weapon to the status quo. In the process, brands lost their identities and, in turn, much of their appeal. But brands aren't going anywhere. In fact, consumers are tying their identities to brands now more than ever. You see it in lines down the street for new releases, in collaborations between unexpected brands, in the lyrics to every rap song. Consumers have just gotten smarter and have come to expect transparency, ethics, and opportunities to participate. Forget direct to consumer. The future is built with consumers. We're moving from a world of branded products supported by consumers to one of branded communities supported by products, one in which transactional relationships give way to mutually beneficial ones, from brands extracting culture to fostering it, where consumers transform into active participants and evangelists. As Toby Shoren wrote, we are transitioning out of the era of lifestyle from an era where brands are designed to sell products to an era where brands are designed to be culture, to transform lives, to instill beliefs. That's why we're building the on-chain LVMH. The difference is that LVMH divides its 75 houses into 6 sectors, keeping each brand siloed. These companies largely keep to themselves, focused on expanding their individual fiefdoms as opposed to growing the categories in which they operate. In contrast, our ecosystem is built around passionate subcultures, allowing us to develop brands that live at the intersection of cultural movements. Focusing on bringing more people into these subcultures will naturally expand the market for the consumer goods that cater to them, just as Nike brought jogging into the mainstream and created an entire market for running shoes. Our company is comprised of 2 complementary functions. SR Studio, where we're building on-chain brands designed to appeal to both on and off-chain audiences, and SR Labs, where we're releasing one-off collaborations and product experiments for an on-chain crowd. Slow Rodeo brands are built upon 3 core concepts already familiar to today's consumers. Membership, which gets you into the club. Participation, the things you do for the club, not just making purchases, but behaviors like attending events, growing the community, or contributing to its culture. And ownership, the ways the club pays you back by unlocking doors, not just within that specific subculture, but across the ecosystem at large. We see these pillars as the perfect building blocks to coordinate and engage networks of people around a shared vision. The lab is our R&D arm. Its primary goal is to attract attention and provide an outlet to test and validate new technology and ideas for adoption by current and future brands. Our goal is not to rewrite human behavior, but to build better brands, and in turn, develop a system that allows the world to do the same. We're creative technologists with decades of experience across design, engineering, and brand building. After years building brands such as Visitor, Dosist, and Lost Club, working with artists like Kendrick Lamar, Ariana Grande, and The Weeknd, and clients including Nike, Google, and Red Bull, we're excited to unveil our first brand under the Slow Rodeo umbrella, Court Date. Beginning with tennis, but born to unite racket and paddle sports enthusiasts around a shared love of the world's fastest growing category of sports, Court Date will develop apparel, gear, and other goods designed for those who don't feel invited to the country club, eschewing the category's pervasive uniformity and pretension for a celebration of individuality. The brand's on-chain framework will incentivize real-world engagement, providing a platform for skill development, player matchmaking, and other IRL experiences, ultimately serving Court Date's mission to become the most powerful and connected community of racket and paddle sports enthusiasts. Court Date will be the first brand that we launch, introducing the world to V1 of our membership, participation, and ownership tools. Other brands will follow, each applying these foundational building blocks in ways tailored to their community's needs. Eventually, we'll consolidate these tools into a consumer-facing platform, allowing subcultures everywhere to join us in building on-chain brands. The next generation of great consumer brands will be built with Slow Rodeo. To follow the action, head to slow.rodeo and mint one of our Genesis works. Our Seed Club mint is free and available for the next 72 hours. We also created a one-of-one collaboration with sculptor and jeweler Secret of Mana, paired with a real 14-karat gold belt buckle. No matter which piece you mint, holding one of these works will ensure that you'll be the first in line to register for a Slow Rodeo account when we launch our closed beta. And for those of you with deep pockets who want to schedule a call, we're raising. Thank you.